Sometimes you want a ragu right now. It's supposed to take like 7 hours. Well, guess what? We only have 7 minutes. What if we can get 7 hours of flavor into a 7-minute sauce? We can! It's a breakthrough. Let me show you how to do it. A ragu, a Bolognese ragu, it takes a really long time to cook. Is there a way to have delicious flavors and make it happen faster? Well, we will find out in this journey together. I say we start with a small onion and we cut it in half. And we keep this little root end right there so that we can sort of have it hold everything together, yeah? All right, here comes olive oil. Relatively small pieces on the onion. It's gonna make it cook a little bit faster because the name of the game here is faster. Celery, fundamental ingredient. You wanna have about half as much celery as onion because that's just the way it goes. So if you take a piece and then you come like sort of this way for some long pieces, and then you can come in choo-choo train. Just think of the drive shaft of the choo-choo train. Again, relatively small pieces so that it cooks pretty quickly. Celery goes in. Hit it with heat, hit it with heat. And we chose a large pan here so that things don't crowd and it doesn't really steam and you can actually get some browning happening. So the carrots probably take the longest amount of time to cook, but they're also the sweetest ingredient. So if you just come in with a grater right over top and into the dish, you're gonna get nice small pieces that add sweetness. I mean, that's the base. This is called the sofrito in Italian. The French call it the mirepoix. Put a little bit of garlic in there too, same thing with the grater. This is just gonna give us a little bit of flavor. We wanna do it last because the garlic burns, yeah? And this way, it's insulated by the other ingredients in here, a little bit. So, at this point, just like baby it a little bit, start getting some deep colors happening, but don't let it burn. And that really just requires the ojos to be right here. Carrots are starting to get some brown color on there, and that is flavor and deliciousness. So right now is when we sort of want to stop the whole thing. So tomato paste. This is basically eliminating 3 hours of sauce reduction at least. So just get a little bit of toast on tomato paste. It's always hard to spread out. It looks very unglamorous. Don't worry, it's like that for everybody. And now, water. We have essentially a hyper-reduced ragu now. I say you put all the water because you can always turn up the heat and make it thicker or not. But there's also another thing, because right now this is just a basic tomato sauce. And the other thing is that you already had sausages or meatballs or bacon bits left over. And that is the heart of your dish, so you throw those in. So having water in the pan is good. You could cover it. You could break these up. If and when it gets dry, you just add water. There's nothing wrong with adding water. When you have a can of tomatoes in there, the difference between it and paste is that it has more water. Water also enables us to braise these already seared meatballs in this sort of sauce. So now we have way too much water, but in like 2 minutes, it'll be the perfect consistency. Pasta goes in here if it's straight out of the fridge and pre-cooked with butter like this. Then keep the heat on and heat the pasta up with the sauce. You made yourself spaghetti with butter and Parmesan last night. You're eliminating the butter and Parmesan step right here. And you also made meatballs separately. And now they're coming together as one. And then you come in, you give it a twist. That's the best fresh leftover pasta I've ever had in my life. I eat pasta like 15 times a week. I'm not exaggerating. So I do it every way and any way that I can. If you have pre-cooked meat, this is a delicious way to make a very quick ragu. It's Speedy Gonzalez.